Hey, welcome folks. I'm Outdoor Anthony, and today we're gonna go outside and explore this beautiful planet. I typically make videos all about educating you on how to get outside, but today we're just gonna do it, and hopefully you can learn a few things about your own adventures in your own life. So today you're gonna step a little bit into my world, which also is your world. In this awesome spot right here, we have Faith Valley Meadows, and there's a river running right through here, which is really cool. So I think there's a restoration sign right there. We're gonna check it out really quickly. But thanks for joining us today on Explore Your World. I went to a bar last night and bought $5 sunglasses. Please do not make fun of me. Alrighty, the Faith Valley Meadow Restoration Project. So it's showing us the difference between a healthy meadow and an unhealthy meadow. So this is in the process of getting restored. You can see this unhealthy one has a straight down river, which basically means that there's no embankments for biodiversity to hang on and linger to, like beavers or plant life, as you can see down here. So they're basically making their own man-made embankments, it looks like, to change it. So it's a Sunday. I went to a birthday party last night at a bar, and then after that we got out and did some pad thai, and then I played Halo way too long. So I got up really late this morning, had a couple social media meetings, and I got sick of it. I'm like, I can't just be a hungover piece of crap. So today we're just gonna go outside and explore together. Oh, that's an ugly view, isn't it? Not too shabby. There's my shadow. Hey, buddy. There are still beavers up here in Lake Tahoe. However, you can obviously see that they are trying to do exactly what beavers have done for millions of years. Hopefully they do this and also have a reintroduction process for beavers, because that is the long-term solution to this. We've got our first snow. Beautiful. So I'm going to make my way towards that tree line over there. We're gonna have a much better time filming, I'm sure, because I'm squinting like a weirdo right now. Come on, Sonnies. If you ever do want to go camping, it's not great to camp in an open meadow like that for two reasons. Number one, it's windy, it's exposed, not great. But number two, a lot of animals like to roam, a lot of pack animals like to hunt out there, and you don't really want to be in the way of a lot of that. So tucking yourself away in the woods is really nice, just as long as you make sure you camp and there's no dead trees around you. So all these are looking pretty good, except that guy. I'm gonna call him Frank. Frank's dead. Okay, we've come to our first pair of tracks, guys. So right here, we've got a little, what animal do you think it is, huh? I'm gonna quiz you. What animal do you think this is? If you guessed a rabbit, you are correct. So as you can see, there are two big and then two little. Too big, too little. Too big, too little. So when a rabbit runs, which way do you think this rabbit was running? Was it going that way or was it going that way? Now these are the front paws, these are the hind paws. It was going that way. So when rabbits run, their back paws actually, their hind legs overtake their front paws when they're running. Let me see if I can show you. They're basically overtaking it. So they'll go here and then take, here and then take. So every time they're actually moving that way, their hind paws will be in front of their front paws. Look at that. Incredible. Oh my God! Look at these bones! Holy crap, guys. So, what we've got here are three vertebrae of a giant, it looks like an ungulate. So an ungulate is a hoofed animal. See, this is the big pelvic bone. Wow, look how incredible that is. That is huge. We've got some pretty awesome giant bones here. Now, I found this one. This is gonna probably be, I'm guessing, some kind of femur or a thigh bone, or not, a femur or a shin bone. I'm not super well versed in the skeletal remains of what I'm guessing to be maybe like a large deer or elk. It could even be a cow if a cow got loose in this area. I don't think I would be able to hold the cow's pelvis this easily. So I'm gonna go with a large deer. But wow, look at that. That is huge. That's wild, right? How cool. Now, this looks like it was the back half of the animal, which means that probably the rest of the animal, including the skull, isn't too far. I'm gonna play a little bit more with these bones, and then we're gonna try to see if we can find the skull. Now, this is interesting. As you guys can see here, these are three different vertebrae for the spine. However, they looked pretty like fused up here. I wonder if that is part of what happens. Maybe it was sick and dying, because it looks very uneven up top here. And I don't typically see a lot of fused spinal cords like this, but that is really neat. I think we're looking at the coccyx right here. This is definitely the femur that's going into these sockets right here. And it's moving like that. Wow, how cool is this, guys? I'm tempted to take some of these bones with me, but they're heavy, and we've just started a hike. So I think we're going to lay off, but if I did have to take one, it would probably be this femur. I really enjoy this elongated shape right here, and I could totally carve that into something really awesome. Start looking for the rest of the skeleton. Those animals are not light, so I can't imagine they brought the rest of the body too far. Now, the other probability, there's two. The first probability is somebody already found it, and the second one is that it's buried under a snow somewhere, and it will be super hard to find. Oh boy. But since just the back was found, I have a feeling that someone already found the top part. This ground right now is so soft beneath my feet because we just had a nice big snow this week, and everything, even the pine needles, aren't really making that much sound, which is really cool. And right now it's autumn, so we're gonna see a little bit of the leaf changing. We got some yellowing on all these aspen trees. Aspen trees are part of the poplar family, so that also includes willows, dogwood, and they all have the same seasonal changes in their leaves. But that is something gorgeous, isn't it? Awesome. This is why I like being out here. There's like no rhyme or reason. There's no agenda. Just exploration, snacks, and maybe a few songs to be had. Got some squirrel tracks over here. Super awesome. Oh gosh, I would camp here. I should camp here. I have a couple tents in the car right now. I'm very tempted. But One Punch Man is on tonight, and I definitely want to go home and watch that with my buddy Drew. If you guys are wondering kind of what my setup is, I've got this jacket from Leif Nelson, L-E-I-F Nelson. Nobody's sponsoring me for all this to say. These are some Keens. They're Targhee 4s. They're pretty good for the snow. They're kind of my middle winter boot. I've got a much thicker knee-high winter boot, and then I was actually wearing my ultra running shoes this morning until I decided to change out of them. So this is a good middle ground for doing a good old stomp and tromp, I like to call it. Good old stomp and tromp. Ooh, there's a cool rock over there. Ooh, there's a bigger rock over there. Sorry, smaller rock. Your old news. But if you guys are ever curious about like influencer life or just, general stuff about what I do, leave it in the comments. I'm kind of curious what you guys think about what I do. But essentially, it's pretty busy right now. I've got a few brand deals coming out, and that's why I wanted to really do a calming video with just us walking around in the woods before we get into a really intense. There's a few knife videos. There's a crossbow video, actually 3 crossbow videos coming soon, and a few other really cool partnership projects, but nothing beats hiking, I will say. As you can see, I didn't go to some big trail. The coolest stuff that you can find, like a giant carcass of a long gone animal, that stuff is gonna be found out here, just out in the woods. So if you do wanna do stuff like this at home, I'd recommend looking up forest roads that are around your area that have public lands around it. So as you can see, giant rock with a big striation line in the middle. That is all solid quartz, and around it is volcanic granite, essentially. Granite kind of breaks off, like it's very choppy and chossy. However, granite is actually an igneous rock formed from volcanic activity. And granite forms inside the igneous rock during a lot of pressure, and if there's extra caverns or heat, that condenses it even further. A lot of times miners will find cool granite and decide that it's somewhere to mine for gold. So a lot of gold mining happening around granite. When I grew up, there is a place in Big Bear Lake called Eye of the Gods. And Eye of the Gods is this beautiful dome-like quartz dome. It's beautiful. But when American miners came up and they saw that, they're like, oh, that means gold. I think they found a little bit of gold, but they blew apart this religious relic. So, I don't know. Not awesome, I would say. We're gonna go to the top of these rocks right here, and then I'm gonna bust out my guitar and play, get some snacks going. As I was coming up the rocks, I got stung by a wasp right on the inside of my sock. However, these are nice thick socks, and I think I got it a little early to where I flicked it out, and it's not super painful. It's kind of just like a thorn hit me, so I think I got it before the poison really got in me, or the irritant, I guess I would call it. That was annoying. I could have sworn that I smashed the wasp, but I think I didn't, which makes me happy. It makes me feel good that he got away, you know? I think wasps, they can regrow it like a lot of times. So, see ya, buddy. This is my guitar-lele. It's a guitar-sized ukulele. Actually, it's a ukulele-sized guitar. All right, what can we say about our adventure so far? So we've gone across meadows, we've gone over a river, we got stung by a wasp, we saw some animal tracks, we saw a dead animal carcass. There's plenty of stuff going on there. And we've got a pretty epic view. The forest is for footsteps going to and forward. Stepping over pylons to make sure we don't mess up the water. Rapid steps, they're taking the time, but the actions are from some other guy. Bones litter the lawn, but it's not melancholy, it's just life. We're just bones and stuff and goose and guts, yeah. Walking tall, 10 feet high, a drone is flying by, but watch out for your sock because there's a little cocksucker in there. I'm sorry, Wasp, but it's my time to sing about your misdemeanor. At least you got my toe, it's not on my finger, on my little wiener. I think I'm gonna stop there. That was pretty good so far. Time to have a snack. All right, we've got chicken apple sausage. Fantastic. That is already cooked, so don't worry about it. And I know in here we also have, I got my cheese. Perfect. I was thinking what kind of what kind of content influencer do I want to be? Do I want to be like a survivalist guy? I'm like, well, not really. I don't really feel like doing that. I want to get the average person out adventuring and backpacking and, just doing the small things, going on a walk. And I think I really just want to show people how easy it is to get outside and find a cool spot to adventure around. I've spent a lot of my life making sure that I can have access to places like this, so I'm kind of ahead of the curve. However, you can definitely find stuff around you. And if you ever need help with that stuff, seriously hit me up on YouTube, on Instagram. I want to make sure you guys get outside. So, Colby Jack, chicken apple sausage, delicacy. Oh, yes. Honestly, literally just bite it. Yep. Oh. It's probably not surprising for you to know that this was a giant block of cheese yesterday. And I had 9 of these sausages. All right, I'm gonna go nuts right now. You ready? Block of cheese, chicken apple sausage. Mmm. This is amazing. That was too much. That's too much. I'm gonna be chewing this for a long time. I think I should just start going, and then I'll eventually start to not eat as much. So out of this whole area out here, you see these different mountains out there. We're pretty close to the mountain resort called Kirkwood. But these ones, a lot of people do get access to snow up. So if you haven't heard of like split boarding, you have skis, right? And the skis, you go up a mountain on these skis. You have like these traction resistant ways of not falling back down on the skis. But once you get to the top, you can actually hook the skis together and it makes a snowboard. And then you can just snowboard down. It's pretty wild if you haven't tried it out. Now, a couple days ago, all of this was frost covered completely by 6 or 5-ish inches of snow. Now we're just starting to see it go away. We'll probably have a pretty chill next 6 days. And then after that, we're getting a storm next weekend. So about 6 days from now. That's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I get to bundle up with my sweaters. You know me and my sweaters. What are the odds I make this thumbnail about an crazy wasp attack? Just to get the attention. It's just like the most mild video ever. What do you think Batman does in the daytime? Is he always just Bruce Wayne? I feel like Batman has to do something during the day. He probably just like studies up, you know? Like he has some kind of library that he like studies. I don't know. I'm so paranoid that there are wasps in my shoes now. Okay, so those bones were super old, but these ones, definitely from this summer. I'm not even gonna touch them, that's how you know. All right, what do you guys think? So we've got definitely still some bloodiness in there. They've got incisors here and then some very sharp molars. This is where the cranium would go. So the deer head, I'm guessing, wasn't very big, but you can see where they would come out right here. So those would be where the antlers come out. So this is probably a baby deer, yeah? Little baby deer with some sharp teeth. And it looks like it put up a fight. You can see that there's actually a little bit of hair on the back. How interesting. I wonder if we could find, oh, see, there's another piece of the skull. I wonder if we can find the rest of the body somewhere. There's some bear crap right there. That's a bunch of bear crap. I don't think we'll find the rest of the baby deer because these parts were really, really easy to put into a mouth of a larger animal. That means that it was probably carried from a further distance away. So I'm not gonna check for that one. You're probably asking, what are the odds he found 2 carcasses in one walk? Well, high, because like I said, this area out here, these big meadows, these are prime hunting grounds. Anything that you can get hunted out here, if I was a predator, I wouldn't eat it out in the middle of the hunting grounds. I would drag it back into a secluded forest and eat it in peace. Maybe with some salt. Oh, mama, look at that guy. Whew. This is a bolete mushroom. These guys are porcini mushrooms, and it's already kind of exposed, so I'm sure there's bugs inside of it. But these guys go for about $35 a pound. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig around it. I'm gonna show you how deep the root systems really go, and then maybe we can see if we can salvage it. But I have a feeling there's plenty of bugs inside. You know what? There's no bugs in here. This might be pretty okay to eat. Oh, yeah. So, I decided to stop looking for the bones because I'm running out of sunlight, as you can see, and my car is something I can't see. So, I'm gonna go find that. Come with me and we're gonna find out if I make it back today. Awesome, let's break down what we learned today so far. Number 1, a healthy meadow in a healthy meadow area has not a meandering, or has a meandering stream and not a straight going stream all the way through. Second thing we learned, bones are big. Third thing we learned, the rabbit tracks always have the back paws actually in front of the front paws in their tracks to show direction. Fourth thing, hornets, or I guess they're wasps. Wasps hurt, but they're just trying to defend themselves. Nothing against the wasps. What else? You can eat bolete mushrooms. A good way to tell if they're edible is to cut through the middle of it and find out if the center is eaten by bugs. What else? Third thing, fourth thing, fifth thing. Baby deer have tiny skulls that animals can carry very far, especially bears. That was a very fresh kill, by the way. Very fresh. And the very last thing I want you to remember is get outside. There's plenty of adventures to be had. You don't have to come to Faith Valley Meadows You can do whatever you want in your local area. If you want help getting outside, leave it in the comments. Tell me where to come to next, and I'll come hike with you. All right, guys, I'm Outdoor Anthony. This is my little drone Artemis that we're gonna be flying over the meadow with real quickly, and I hope you guys had a great time. Oh, look at that mountain. This is a pretty good thumbnail right here. Every time I wake, it's another perfect day. And each word that I say is another one to break. Memories are glass, they come in every shade. And as each moment's pass, it might cut you on your way to another perfect day. Just another perfect day. Just another perfect day. Block it off with tape and I'll send you on your way. If you live only to please, you have yourself to blame. Have yourself to blame, yeah. Fly up to the moon, you see the mountains of gray. Then you come back way too soon to people selling all your things. Isn't that just great?